Well, g'day all, Peter Clark here and welcome to this month's market update. So let's pick right up where we left off. It feels like interest rates and inflation is the new COVID and they're dominating our airwaves. So much so, even we've been talking about this frequently in this year's market updates. But we'd like to think we're bringing you a different perspective. It's a perspective that may not grab the headlines, but it's that of a regional property enthusiast. Now last month, despite those headlines, we took you through some of the data that highlights that regional property prices have grown this year and could quite possibly continue to do so. Now it doesn't mean this trajectory will go on forever, but it's a far cry from the doom and gloom that you've been likely presented with. Now we spoke about the building industry, availability of land and the increasing rental costs that are driving people to take the plunge and enter the property market. The biggest question now is, when? When do I buy? Should I hold out? And when do I sell? So how many of you have gone out and bought crypto recently? It's bottomed out. And if you did buy it, have you sold whilst it's low? Or are you holding in hope for a revival? Now I can't provide you advice on crypto, and I certainly can't tell you how it relates to the property market. One is a relatively new form of investment, and the other has over a century of trading history through wars, revolutions, pandemics, changes in government, and even recessions. And that can be used to guide us on where it might go. So let's try and answer those questions. There is some serious danger in trying to judge and attempt to enter the market at the bottom. You see, when you look at the historical data, any dips are first felt in metropolitan areas and generally last less than 12 months. And the data also shows us that they often only drop at half the rate of their preceding upswing. A clear example of this was provided by Domain, and it was from Sydney, where property prices rose 62.2% from 2012 until 2015. They then dipped by 2.7% that year, then added another 18% to the 2017 peak, and then they fell by 13.8% in the next 2 years before rising again. So what do we take from this? If you're trading properties regularly, you're at a heightened risk of losing out. But if that's your game, the stamp duty alone will likely be hurting you more than any price inflections, as the government has just recorded a record 23.97 billion stamp duty collections in the year of 2021 financial year. You may be thinking, but I don't buy and sell often. So how does this impact me? Well, you'll be pleased to know that in Baw Baw, just as an example, the average hold period for a home, that is the average time a home is owned before being put back on the market, is 9 years. So if you're the average person and looking at selling your home right now, you'd be more than aware of the capital growth that you've experienced in the past 9-year period. And that's through a number of dips in the market value. So the point being, a lot happens in 9 years. If we overlay this with the recently released census data, Baw Baw is also in the top 10 fastest growing local government areas, growing from 49,000 people in 2016 to 57,600 in the year of 2021, representing a 14.5% growth. Demand for housing in the region certainly isn't diminishing. Now, if you're looking for the perfect time to either buy or sell, you'll likely never find it. One interesting suggestion we found this month was to focus less on what the market will be doing in a few months' time and more on what will sell in any market based on its location, scarcity and appeal to owner-occupiers. You may not feel that there is anything unique about your regional home, but take a drive through suburbia or walk through an apartment complex and you may see things quite differently. If you don't, it's our job as agents to show the world what makes your property unique. Now we can't crystal ball where property prices will go and what the journey will be. But if you take any local property that has sold multiple times in the last 20 to 30 years, you'll find countless stories of people who wish they'd held on to a property longer and those that wish they had taken the plunge earlier. Yes, that sounded odd, but let me repeat that. You'll find countless stories of people who wish they'd held onto a property longer and those that wish they'd taken the plunge earlier. Now they're quite contradictory viewpoints that support one clear fact. Over time, property continues to appreciate as an asset, and given that time never stands still, now is always the best time. So crew, thank you for tuning in. As we embark on a new financial year, we wish you all an uninterrupted run at doing whatever you do and look forward to continuing to work with you and create more opportunities through real estate. Just a quick shout out also to Rosalie Homes. We're standing here at number 27 Longview Road in Warragul, their latest display home in the Waterford Rise. It's a magnificent property. It is currently on the market as well with a great rental yield being offered back. So get down and have a look at it at one of the weekends that it's open, or contact our office for more details. So until next time, we'll see you soon.